Yokoso, Japanese Quest to it. Welcome to Japanese Quest. Today the journey continues. Champion. Hisashiburi desu ne. Genki. How you doing, Champion? Today you can see in the upper left, something different is on the menu. Twitch plus Twitter equals, we voted on this on Twitter, Twitcher. We are combining the powers of Twitch and Twitter today in an experiment to try to find the best Japanese resources that currently exist in the world. By category, different categories, for example, kanji, grammar, vocab, be the best starting game, things like that. Because I realized after doing this for 2 years, we summon dragons, like Hudson just did. Subscribe, arigato. Manopali, welcome. Honkan, welcome. Thank you for the subs. Welcome, everyone. I know we haven't streamed for about a month now. My last marathon, traveling through time, was so long, we had to take a bit of a break. A bit of a sabbatical for a month. But don't worry, Japanese Quest is continuing. We'll continue to play games, and recently, though, I've been feeling like doing other things other than playing games, too. I feel like in the first 2 years of Japanese Quest, the scope, partly because of things like Twitter, not just Twitch, the horizons, as you can see the horizons right now on Breath of the Wild, the horizons on Japanese Quest as well have been expanding. To not just teaching Japanese through games is what we normally do. I'm a Japanese teacher. My name is Akira-sensei, by the way. Normally we teach Japanese through games. We will do that in general on this channel. But increasingly what I've been realizing, we connect learners, we connect teachers. We make a guide through the Japanese language, not just for this channel, but for other people joining a guide for their Japanese Quest. And one thing we do on Twitter especially is find the best resources for Japanese that currently exist right now, at this moment. So welcome everyone, Manopali, Generic, Hudson, Konnichiwa, subscribe, arigato. Thank you for the subs, everyone. Oh, that was a emote. Very cool. Ah, so someone got an emote. That's why someone was saying thanks. Okay. Okay, so today, take a look down in the lower right. It's different than it has been before. A few months ago, we did something similar where we had different questions down there, but I thought, I've been thinking a while for ways to combine Twitter and Twitch. I mean, their names alone cry out to be combined. Look at the upper left. Twitch, Twitter, it's almost the same word. The root word being twit, apparently, T-W-I-T. You combine them, Twitcher, it's a bit like a witcher, it's a bit like a teacher, maybe a Japanese teacher. Combine them, Twitter plus Twitch, you get Twitter. No, Twitcher. It's very confusing, but let's try it today. So what we're doing today, in chat, you can see the chat on the left of the screen. You can make your comment, you can suggest things to ask on Twitter later. But also for the questions we have, you can weigh in with your favorite resource for whatever category we're talking about. So, let's make a tweet. Looks like we got retweeted already on that tweet. Let's go to full screen for a moment, because today we're combining Twitch and Twitter. We have Twitter in the corner there, but sometimes we'll look at it full screen. So here we have Twitter. So we got some likes. If you want to come here and like it, you can. If you want to come and retweet it, you can. Get some more hype for what we're doing today. We'll do several tweets today using this same hashtag, Twitcher, combining Twitter and Twitch. If people like this, other people can try combining them. This is a Venn diagram of what we're doing. You can see Twitch on the left, Twitter on the right. Today we're trying to activate all of those communities as much as we can to find the best resources that exist in Japanese for Japanese learning. You might say you could just Google that. Why are you doing all this? Because sometimes when you talk about it with people that you actually know, or at least even talking online, you might hear things you wouldn't hear normally. You might see things you wouldn't see in a Google search, for example. So let's see what we got our bell ring rung for. So some people like that. Ooh, they have many favorites. Let's see what Sam said. Many favorites. The main one that changed my entire ability to study and understand was Wanikani. I'm guessing we'll hear that for the first tweet I was going to make. Next big favorites are Boon Pro and italki. We might hear about those too. Actually compiled a whole list. See, people can see these resources. Let's like that, and we can like things as you find too. Okay, so let's go back. So what we're going to do is make a new tweet, but we're going to retweet this. You can retweet it too if you want to spread the word, or retweet the other tweets we make. So this is when we voted on which name to use, Twitcher or Twitterich. As you can see, by far, Twitcher won. Okay, so let's retweet this. So look at it in Japanese, commento. Commento o tsukete. So we'll attach a comment and retweet. So attach a comment and retweet, we'll do that option. By the way, recommend changing your language into Japanese if you want to see all of this stuff in Japanese. It's good practice. So the first tweet we're going to make, I have a bunch numbered here today, but the one that always comes up, the first one mentioned by that commenter there too, was what is the best kanji resource that currently exists? Hashtag Japanese, hashtag Twitcher, which is Twitter and Twitch combined. Trying to draw on both of those communities today, combining their powers. So we'll make this tweet. So what is the best kanji resource that currently exists? And let's tweet that, make that retweet. Okay. So I think you can find this retweet now on Twitter. Check our page, Japanese Quest, at Japanese Quest on Twitter. Again, you see this Twitcher, this is where we are right now. The intersection of Twitch and Twitter, a strange place. Witchers might be involved. I don't know. Let's like that. We gotta like our own tweets if we are tweeting them. So this is the question. For people in chat, for people on Twitter, wherever you are watching this. If you're on YouTube too, you can comment there. So what is the best kanji resource that currently exists? So check out this tweet and answer it. Let's go back to our other view.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
Power level is 2019. Why is that 2019? We definitely got up to 2020. Let's update that. Because we got up to 2020 for 2020. We traveled in time to do that. Let's update that. Twitcher is the hashtag. Proper Josh, Thanos. Yeah, that is a good website. Thanks for shouting that out. So the question now, you can see in the lower right, let's run around Hyrule and talk about this question. In chat, and anyone else on Twitter can comment that or retweet that and spread the word on that question. Comment there and you can upvote which one you like. So the question is, again, what is the best kanji resource that currently exists? Novastar, Josh, Hudson, Generic, Yokoso, Japanese Castaway, welcome. Good to see you again. And so yeah, that's the question now. What is the best kanji resource that currently exists? We got one suggestion already. Actually, two suggestions. Proper Josh suggested Thanos.co.uk on the left there, because they do have kanji by JLPT level, I believe. Also on Twitter, someone mentioned Wanikani, which you've heard about a lot before on Japanese Quest. So anyone else in chat, for you, what do you find to be the best kanji resource that currently exists? And as we ponder that, I'll go around and try to find some adventures, because we haven't played this game for a while either. And I'll think about it too, because over the years, I'm a Japanese teacher now. I've translated professionally. I've used a number of kanji resources myself over the years. And I'll be honest, right now, the one I like the most is simply my electronic dictionary I got in Japan like 10 years ago. It's got a good kanji dictionary, it's got a good Japanese dictionary. I like looking up kanji there. Also has a good dictionary for similar kanji and similar words. So if you're ever in Japan and have $200, $300 to blow on an electronic dictionary, it can be a decent investment if you're into that kind of thing. Hudson mentioned Remembering the Kanji by James Hisig. I knew that would come up. I actually went through that book too and do recommend it. I learned 1,000 kanji first before I even did that book. So learning from just reading and Anki, I can recommend too. However, the stories you write through remembering the kanji, I found to be helpful if you want to learn all 2,000 plus kanji. Nova Star mentions Kanji Tree. Kanji Tree is recognition, reading, writing, ordered by JLPT, grade level. Never heard of that one. Good suggestion. Kanji Tree. Anyone else heard of Kanji Tree? It's a free app. Yeah, speaking of apps, there's another app I've heard that's really good. Anyone else use any apps for kanji? One free app I've heard is very good is Kanji Study. The Kanji Study app, I don't believe it's free, but I've heard it's really good because you can write all the kanji and learn them that way. It's a highly rated, if you look at the reviews, Kanji Study the app, search it, you'll find it. Monopoly says, not for kanji, but I like Tori SRS. Ooh, what is that one? Yeah, Kanji Study Fire Gem says is one of my favorite apps. Yeah, I've heard it's good. By the way, we got up to 4,600 followers. Nice round number, almost getting close to 5,000 now on Japanese Quest. That, of course, followers on Japanese Quest we refer to as party members. We're all party members on this journey. So we now have 4,600 party members here. Imagine 4,600 swarming over Hyrule at one point or another. Hyperion says, remembering the kanji, RTK, definitely. So the same one mentioned by Hyperion. Just finished RTK, the whole thing. Oh, nice. In December. It's made a huge impact on my comfort reading. Yeah, I agree with that. It really helps reading overall. If you can at least recognize the 2,000 or so kanji. I love it for adding vocab words and Anki on the go. Yeah, it helps a lot for learning vocab more quickly, I find, if you go through a kanji program like that. These days, some people do less than all 2,000. They'll do like the top 1,000 most common kanji, but still using the remember the kanji method. Someone's mentioned that before. I think they called it lazy kanji before. Suggested by the like MIA, mass immersion approach method, I believe, which we've had mentioned before on here. I think they call it something else now. Like recognition kanji, I believe. Something like that. To me, I might call it just RTK 1000, because I kind of think the top 1000 common kanji, hugely helpful to go through. Misery, yeah, thanks for the comment. They renamed it to Recognition RTK. Good to know. So the question again, anyone just joining, what is the best kanji resource that currently exists? So far, we have Wanikani, we have RTK suggested, we have the Kanji Study App. Those are the three big ones I remember that people said. And Kanji Tree, someone mentioned, right? Ooh, nice. We got some likes on our tweet. Let's check out our tweet situation. Because, again, we're combining Twitter along with Twitch today. Hopefully we won't get attacked by a ghost or something. So we have 3 likes. If you want to go on there, you can like that, retweet that too. The question was, what is the best kanji resource that currently exists? So some people liked that. And yeah, I'm not totally sure of the best format. If we should just go to our next question. In a way, I'd like to do a poll, actually, to see which one is the best of the ones that have been voted on. So again, in chat, mention what you said. I can update it. Let's make a new tweet. So again, the question was... Ooh, we got a new party member, Dubby. Welcome. So again, we're combining today Twitch and Twitter. So let's vote on it. We can keep Twitcher going, maybe. No, for the poll, let's leave that off. So the nominations are in. The nominations. That's how you spell it, right? What is the best kanji resource that currently exists? But we want to make this as a poll, right? So let's copy that. Let's make a poll. Oh, good. So that's ready. Let's get nominations are in on here so we can copy that later, possibly. The nominations are in. Okay. So now let's make the choices. In chat, what do we want to say for the choices? Let's say, Wanikani, I saw that as the first one mentioned. Let's have remembering the kanji. That fits that way. Let's make one more, or a couple more options. What other options do we have? Winsome, welcome. Yokoso, Japanese question. So we're making it, so RTK is on there. Kanji Study App was mentioned a lot. Okay, anyone else mention any? Ooh, let's put on recognition RTK actually too, just because someone, a couple people I think mentioned that. And that might split RTK, but I really don't care. This is not scientific anyway. Okay. So what are the best resources of all? Your brain? That's a good one. Anki, a bit abstract. Yeah, Anki, we might do more for later questions, but yeah, that's a good one. Order of grade level, good suggestion too. By the way, hello, Game Grammar. So let's make this poll. Let's post that. And then you can vote now on Twitter for this poll. The nominations are in. What is the best kanji resource that currently exists? Now the internet can vote. We will know for sure of the ones that have been nominated on chat and on Twitter. So we got some more bells. Good. What are these new bells about? New followers. Excellent. Yokoso. Japanese Quest. Welcome to Japanese Quest. Got a new retweet. So let's see who's voting. So what are the best what's the best kanji resource that currently exists? Wanikani, RTK, Kanji Study App, Recognition, RTK. You can vote. I can't vote because I made the poll, I guess, but you can vote. So anyone looking at this, you can vote. And, ooh, no votes are in yet, but we have a like here. I'm curious, who will be the first vote that's in? I'm surprised there's no vote yet. Who's going to be the first vote for the best kanji resource that currently exists? I'm curious. What will it be? W says, I haven't used any of them. Well, then yeah, you don't have to vote then. Fair enough. I voted, but it's not showing up. It will probably show up eventually. We got some more follows here by Tarko. Follow. Arigato. Richard Chang. Yokoso. Japanese Quest. Welcome. We will now continue. Ooh, we're getting close to 1,000 followers. If we somehow got up to 1,000 followers today, that would be kind of cool, but not something I was considering, really. But we are close. So vote here, the best kanji resource that currently exists. Now we can know forever, or at least for 2020, what are those best kanji resources. Let's go to our next question now, for our next tweet. So what is the best Japanese reading resource that currently exists? Could be a reader, could be what you read, a certain website you use to read. It's really up to you how you want to interpret that question. But let's do another tweet here. So the question now is, what is the best Japanese reading resource that currently exists? Hashtag Japanese, hashtag Twitcher. We're combining Twitch. We're combining Twitter. I always mix them up anyway. Might as well combine them. Twitcher. Here's the hashtag that was voted on. So let's tweet that. Okay, and let's go back to the game. And we gotta like these tweets because these are good tweets. Let's go back to the game now.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
Power level is still 2020. That power level may not go up today, but don't worry, Nappa, it will go up soon. So look at the bottom right. We have a new question, and again, we're looking for the best resource that currently exists. I forgot to retweet that one, but I think that's probably not necessarily. People can scroll down and find how to find us live if they really want to. This way we can see if there's comments or retweets and things. So the question again is, what is the best Japanese reading resource that currently exists? This is for anyone in chat, anyone on Twitter, anyone on Twitcher, which is where we are now. Alright, so let's see the chat down there. When I voted, there was 5 votes, all for Wanikani. Really? Eh? Freak says 5 votes for Wanikani. Unboxed says, I really like my library. I have no idea if it's typical. Do you mean like an actual book library, Unboxed? Because actually that could be my answer too. At the end of the day, it's hard to beat just a book of real... a library of real books. Ooh, we got some likes. We got a retweet on that one. What is the best Japanese reading resource that currently exists? We're hoping that these tweets themselves can be a resource for finding some of these great things to look at for these different categories that are really important for Japanese study. My actual book library, Unboxed says, NHK Easy News from Novastar. That's a great suggestion. That can be something that we vote on. That could be a nomination. Also, an actual Japanese book library. That can be possibly a vote as well. I will say Amazon Kindle for me. I've read most of my Japanese books, probably over 100, on my Kindle. It's just so much faster reading. You can read at night if you have the light option, which I think they all have now. It has a dictionary on, so if you press on a word, you can see definitions for it in Japanese or English. So I will say my Kindle plus Amazon Japan. But my book library is a close second. Maybe if I upgrade my book library more, that can win. But for now, I actually have more books I've read in digital than in paperback. Anyone else? What is the best Japanese reading resource that currently exists? Some I can think of. There's some popular readers out there. Like Satori Reader, I believe, is one that's quite popular. Any other readers people use like that? Video games? Yeah, that's a good suggestion, too. Like visual novels, for example, can be good to read. Some good suggestions. Let's remember some of those for voting. Discord servers? Ooh, that's a good suggestion. Any servers in particular that you'd recommend? Myself, I don't really hang out on Japanese-only Discord servers too much. I'm in one called Nihongo to Eigo. Yeah, I think I'm on that one too. I haven't gone there for a while, but yeah, I think that's a pretty popular one, right? Good suggestion. Ooh, Game Grammar. I have a mod on that one. I bet you're a mod on Game Grammar as well, Game Grammar. Yeah, check out the Game Grammar Discord. I've noticed you have a new channel on there. Is it called a channel? You have a new channel on there for Japanese questions that I saw people using a lot. We also, of course, have our own Discord. So check out Game Grammar, check out their Discord, check out our Discord, and Twitter as well, because we're, of course, on Twitter today. All right, let's vote on this one. I think we got some good suggestions. So let's copy and paste this again. The nominations are in. And let's go on to Twitter here. We got some updates. Let's see what our updates are. We got a retweet. Thank you for the retweet. Okay, let's see the nominations are in. Wani Kani runs away with it easily. Wow. Sugoi. Let's see if that changes, but for right now, Wani Kani's way ahead. RTK in second. Kanji Study App in third. Recognition RTK. I think not so known, possibly, at least with the audience that's found it so far. Okay, then let's do another tweet here. The nominations are in. And let's vote on this. So what is the best Japanese reading resource that currently exists? Remind me in chat what these are. Let's make this a poll. So number one, let's say actual books. That could be for the library. Two, someone said NHK Easy. Let's do one. Other suggestions were, yeah, social media could be a good one. A lot of people did mention video games, so we might as well put that. Satori Reader or similar. So those are readers. We've got video games / visual novels. Let's put NHK Easy News, actual books. I think we can't put any more options. So let's put that down. What is the best Japanese resource that currently exists? Actual books, NHK Easy News, video games, visual novels. Satori Reader or similar. And I suppose I'm the only one who mentioned that. So how about... Yeah, there are other options. Sorry, we're not getting them all on there. Game Grammar, sorry about that. So Satori Reader or similar. I feel like that's a good option, though. Actual books kind of overlaps with my Kindle answer. So let's just leave that actual books. Ouija, Summon a Dragon. Let's just say actual books. Alright. Let's tweet that out. The best Japanese reading resource that currently exists. I suppose there's different ways to interpret those answers. Game Grammar, we got a retweet from. Check them out too. Check out their Twitter. We're getting some hype here on Twitch, which is good to see. Let's like that. We gotta like our own tweet, or no one else will like it. So the nominations are in. Vote now on Twitch. What is the best Japanese reading resource that currently exists? Actual books, NHK Easy News, video games, visual novels, or Satori Reader or similar. Some good options. Not all good options are there, but this is what was nominated. And hopefully this can lead to people finding good resources for them. You can comment too, of course, if you find good resources. And keep retweeting this stuff. If the more retweets, the more hype we get, the farther this will go. What I've found is Twitter more than Twitch is very viral. Like, you see all these likes coming in quick. If people retweet this stuff, they can flow all around the Japanese learning sphere. Like, if people follow us and we talk about it, other people follow you, it kind of all feeds on each other. It makes sense that in this community, since this is a gaming channel, video games are currently winning. But let's see how that goes. Cool. We got some more bells. The bells going kind of crazy. Ooh, this one's not even close. 4 months, 500 kanji down. Ooh, this is for Wani Kani probably for this person. I'm not sure if that's what they mean, but let's like that anyway. Subarashi. Cool. And so let's get an update. It looks like still Wani Kani's still ahead here with 24 votes. Kanji Study App has been gaining some strength. And for reading material, visual novels, video games, still way ahead. NHK Easy News, though, still quite strong. Let's go to our next question, though. Sun. What is the best Japanese vocab resource that currently exists? Now is the time for Anki, I think, to get in the nominations. So let's tweet out this question. A new tweet. I know a lot of tweets today. Bear with me. This is an experiment to combine Twitter and Twitch. It takes a few tweets to establish that connection. So let's make this tweet here. You can make a comment here. So let's tweet that out. And we are currently live, so they can follow that. I'm not sure if that's totally clear from that tweet, but that's okay. Ooh, getting more retweets. Looking good. Let's go back to the game. Let's make sure this tweet, though, is on view. Ooh, we gotta like it, because that's a good tweet right there. Let's go back to the game here. We are back in Hyrule. So what is the best vocab resource, the best Japanese vocab resource that currently exists in the world? This is for 2020. We're in January still. That's why we're doing this. I had to get this the last day of January. So Monopoly says, Tori SRS. My Anki deck broke and lost all my progress. So Tori SRS, is that similar to Anki Monopoly? So Unboxy says, okay, this one's easy, Anki. Cool, any other suggestions? What about language learning with Netflix? Ooh, that's a good one. What would you say, is that for vocab learning? But yeah, that's one that we tweeted before. I feel like because of the audience here, people could almost like say video games for each one. If you really like games and that's how you learn Japanese, fair enough. You can learn vocab, you can learn kanji. In some respect, you can learn all of that from video games, right? Use the Core 10 vocab for Tori SRS. Cool. Any other suggestions in chat? Let's get our, okay, Terrace House. Ooh, I like that. So let's think about the nominations so far that we'll put on Twitch. So far, definitely Anki. Possibly Terrace House. Possibly Tori SRS. Possibly, what was it, language learning on Netflix? Drops. What is Drops? What is Drops? Not a fan of Drops, mobile app for vocab. Ah, okay. Then it's gotten 2 votes, though. Let's put Drops for one of them. I've never heard of it, but... Okay, last minute for getting nominations in. In this meantime, I'm gonna try to learn some words from the grass. Maybe that could be a nomination. The grass in Breath of the Wild. You can learn words by stuff you find in the grass. Come on, we gotta learn at least one word from the grass, or you'll make me a liar. I know there's words in here. There must be. Yeah, I haven't heard that one, Monopoly. What did we just pick up? Tokage. There's a word. Lizard. Gogo Tokage. So it's kind of like a speed Tokage. All right, so it seems like the nominations are mostly in for this one, so let's go back to Twitter. How about? So where are we? Let's again put this question down because the votes are now in. The best vocab resource. And then let's copy here. I'm slow at typing, so that's why I'm copying and pasting all this. The nominations are in. What is the best Japanese vocab resource that currently exists? Let's make some options. First, we kept hearing Anki, so obviously let's put that. Let's maybe not put it first, though. Can trick people. Someone said pretty early the Netflix language learning app. I think that's a pretty good suggestion because it was viral. We had a viral tweet with that earlier. We also heard drop. I think you said just drop. We'll just say that. And just because it's stupid, I feel like putting something dumb, I'll say cutting grass in Breath of the Wild. But let's not make the joke win. I just feel like putting it. So let's make that tweet. Let's make that one lose, that last one that I made. So the next quiz here, the next nominations are in. What is the best vocab resource that currently exists? You can make a comment here. You can retweet this if you want to spread it, get more votes. The options are the Netflix language learning app, Anki, Drop, or Cutting Grass in Breath of the Wild. So we got some retweets, thank you. RTK for sure for learning kanji, it looks like. Cool. Help me learn and write to 3,000 in 4 months. Yeah, I hear you because I did up to 3,000. I was doing it full time, so I did it in roughly 2 months, and I already knew 1,000 kanji though, so I was kind of had a head start. But I found it to be very useful. And actually, I'm not sure if I needed to go all the way to 3,000. The first book, 2,200 or so, I think was enough. I learned like 50 words for different reads. I'm not sure if I needed all those, to be honest. So I feel like the first book, especially, I recommend. Beyond that, not so sure. Let's look at our votes from the beginning, where we are. So this is where we are. Twitter, Twitch combined. So far, Wanikani is still winning, but RTK is gaining somewhat. Kanji Study App is gaining somewhat. Some people also do like recognition RTK. Probably splitting the RTK vote. If you combine those two, look, they would be up to about 26% or so. Close to. So about half of Wanikani. Interesting. So Wanikani, very popular. And also, we're looking at the best reading resources. You can comment too if you want to add yours. Video games still up there. Actual books also gaining some strength. NHKZ News also rising. Satori Reader similar. Not so popular. Although these are good, I've heard. Haven't used them myself too much. Jokes are powerful, but let's see where we are here. So even though this was viral on my channel, Netflix language learning app, maybe for vocab, not so much. Anki, number one here, no surprise. Cutting Grass in Breath of the Wild. Humor for the last one, as we can see, is kind of strong. So vote up the best one. Drop does have a vote. Nice to see. Okay, let's go to the next one. And let's remember this time, let's retweet this. So we see the original tweet with a link because we are live still. So if we retweet this again, we'll get more retweets. Plus we can keep commenting on it and adding the new question, and people can find us live so they can vote too. So the next one here, ooh, this is for Game Grammar, this is for you. What is the best Japanese grammar resource that currently exists? I'm going to nominate Game Grammar right now. Because, I mean, come on, they're called Game Grammar. And I think they're probably here in chat. If they are, they can probably second my nomination. So let's write this question here. Let's tweet it out. Or retweet it out. And let's check at the top. Here we have The best grammar resource that currently exists. Back to the game now.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
So, Game Grammar, this one's for you. We were waiting for you here. You know I've got you. Okay, Duolingo specifically for Game Grammar. Ooh, we will put that in. That's an interesting suggestion. We will definitely put that in. Game Grammar can put into Take Him. Oh, there's so many good ones for grammar. This is hard now. Some good nominations. What else? Oh yeah, Imabi is good too. There's too many for grammar. Yeah, I feel like we'll have to pick maybe one between Take Him and Imabi. Let's just maybe pick Take Him, unless another person seconds Imabi. Let's go with Take Him. Straw poll for more. Can you straw poll on Twitter? Would I have to go through a different website then? Boon Pro. Oh wow, there's so many. Yeah, that's a good one too. So anyone watching, you're getting good suggestions. Lots of good grammar resources out there. Of course, Game Grammar is another channel that teaches grammar and Japanese in general through games. You can see Game Grammar there. Follow them. Find them on Twitch. Twitter. Sorry, we're combining Twitch and Twitter. Very confusing around here. Yeah, like Duolingo, not always the best reputation for learning Japanese, but still, it's very popular for learning languages overall, and it's free. So overall, it's making more people at least familiar with more languages than probably any other app out there. So I feel like, in a way, just for that, we have to give a shout-out to Duolingo. If not just for Japanese, for all language, offering that for free is just good for the world, it seems. So a lot of good suggestions right out of the gate. The big ones in my mind that I saw... Ooh, some other good one. Japanese ammo with Misa. Ooh, that's another really popular one. So Take Him, incredibly popular. Japanese ammo with Misa, also from what I've heard, very popular. So in a way, those two should be on there. I, in a way, almost feel bad putting these against each other because they're good kind of in different ways, too. But I think we have to do it. Yeah, it's certainly good. And popular. So many good suggestions. Okay, I think the nominations are in. Let's do the nominations. This one will be interesting. Let's go to our browser cam. And let's, we got that same question. So we should be good. New tweet. What is the best Japanese grammar resource that currently exists? The nominations are in. Let's tweet that. I honestly don't know if I should have the hashtag here again, but sometimes hashtags I feel like kind of get in the way of a question like that. I guess it's for a poll, so you don't really want a hashtag. Okay, so we had some good suggestions. We definitely need 4. So let's start with Take Him. What is the one with Misa called again? Japanese ammo. Yeah, let's just put in Japanese ammo. It's with Misa, right? Let's put in... There were other good suggestions. Yeah, Boon Pro is definitely good. What else was there, though? Yeah, there's so many good ones. It's hard to choose. Yeah, I feel... Yeah, Duolingo was mentioned. But I want to put Game Grammar in the 4 spot, just because they're awesome. And they have grammar in their name, come on. And Boon Pro or Duolingo. I feel like we're going to go with Boon Pro simply because I think I saw possibly more people mention it. But yeah, if you want to below here mention more options like Duolingo, by all means do that. Okay, these are all good suggestions, all good grammar resources, so let's tweet that out. I wish I could add more options, actually. I kind of picked Boon Pro because it's considered generally to be a good resource, whereas Duolingo is not considered generally to be a very helpful resource, although it would be interesting to have on there because it's a kind of different category. But let's like that. The nominations are in. So what is the best grammar resource that currently exists? You can vote here. Now is the time to vote. This is a good one. Maybe I'll actually... Ooh, Greg 2B Pro, Summon a Dragon, Yokoso! Japanese Quest Away. Let's make a secondary poll, maybe. With Duolingo. How do you spell Duolingo? Is that right? Duolingo, Lingo Deer, I saw. Do we see anything else? I'm just going to put my own suggestion. Reading all the time. Eventually, grammar starts to kind of become natural the more you read and expose yourself to the language. So let's tweet that out. We need the question too. More options. Let's say more Japanese grammar options because this one was so popular. Any other suggestions? Very cool. Again, thank you for the sub from Greg, and good to see you again. Let's tweet that out. Okay, so Japanese ammo with Misa is crushing so far. Boon Pro up there too. Take him. Not doing so well. Game grammar. I would vote for game grammar if I could. 3 votes so far, and there's a secondary quiz going on too. So let's like that one, because we like that one. We want to see what, between Lingo Deer, Duolingo, and reading all the time, who wins that one too. Ooh, we got some bells. What are we ringing bells about? We got some retweets. Nice. Good to see some hype for Japanese here on Twitter and Twitch. We're getting closer to that 1,000 number in followers, which is good to see. Ooh, reading all the time. Got a vote. Good to see. Okay, let's go to our next question. We're moving on. So 4 was grammar resources that currently exist. 5. Ooh, this one is kind of interesting. I was just thinking about this today. Most people talk about free resources, but some people love to spend money learning a language too. So this is the question. If someone wants to invest $50 in a Japanese learning, what is the best thing they could spend it on? There's so many options. Or $100 or $200. This is the question. And again, let's retweet the original one. With this new question. I'm interested. This is a different question that we haven't talked about really before, and I've never really seen asked before. But I'm honestly curious what people's answers will be. If someone has $50 just laying around, they want to invest it in their Japanese, what's the best bang for your buck with those $50? That's the question. So retweet that, like that tweet if you want to see people's answer. Let's get some nominations in and see the answer for that question. So that's the question. Kind of a different question. I feel like this one's worthy of retweeting because we could really use a wider range of the Japanese sphere's experience on this one. I mean, if you self-promote your own thing, you can do that too. Maybe someone should give you $200 to your, I don't know, Japanese project. This is the time to self-promote. So let's go back to the channel. Or let's go back to the game and discuss this question in chat.
What does the scouter say about his power level?
So let's see the comments. Okay, so let's see. I used to play around with the Rosetta Stone. Ooh, that's an expensive one. Was that your mention for invest in a teacher, I think was the top comment. Oh yeah, tutor, that's a good suggestion actually. So let's see. I used to play around with Rosetta Stone. So I'm trying to look up because I missed some. Ooh, we got a subscriber, Frankie! Subscribe, arigato! So invest in Wanikani is a suggestion. Rosetta Stone is a suggestion. Genki is a suggestion. Almost wish I could weigh in. Invest in a teacher, good suggestion. Another person says play around with Rosetta Stone. Yeah, I've heard it's not that great overall. Game Grammar says learn with free resources and spend everything on books, manga, and games. Good suggestion. Bang for your buck. Genki or Italki. Good suggestion. 5,000 bits on Japanese Quest. Also a good suggestion in a certain way. I wouldn't say biggest bang for your buck necessarily, being honest. Private tutor. Yeah, definitely that's going to be one of them because we've gotten some suggestions for that. Let's see. Frankie, thank you again for the sub. Good to get a sub during that question, actually. Yeah, private tutor might be a start for a tutor. Probably not that many sessions. Wow, so many comments now for this one. I'm still not to the bottom quite. Italki again, so that's, I guess, could be in the private tutor category. Okay, cool. So any other suggestions? So the nominations that are locked in is private tutor. Genki, I think, is pretty much locked in. A couple of people mentioned it. Possibility is something kind of funny, like spending it on media. Free resources plus media, I think, was a pretty good comment by Game Grammar. Or 5,000 bits on Japanese Quest. Or Game Grammar, but I didn't really... This was not a self-promotion type of post, so I don't think I'll do that one. Remembering the Kanji Genki, the best resource I spent money on. That's a fair answer. So yeah, those together could equal that amount. So Genki and or RTK, we could say maybe. Any other suggestions? Yeah, that book. You said it's out of print. I feel like it's too bad it's out of print because it's a really good book. But I feel like it's losing support now and losing people being aware of it now simply because people don't know it exists anymore. How long is this game? Infinitely long. Which, just like I wish my life was. And Japanese Quest. This is the kind of channel where if I lived forever, I think going for, let's say, like, 1,000,000 years for Japanese Quest could be interesting. Because imagine how Japanese and language in general, humanity in general, will evolve over 1,000,000 years. We could look at these tweets back in 2020 and be like, 1,000,000 2020, compare. Do people still like Wanikani 1,000,000 years from now? They might. Wanikani might be really thick by then. Will people still like Pokemon then? How many Pokemon would there be in 1,000,000 years? Over 1,000,000 Pokemon? You have to think there might be. Yeah, good question, Hudson. What does KKLC stand for? The Kodansha Kanji Learners Course. Thanks, Game Grammar. Jack, konnichiwa. So last chance for nominations on the question you see in the bottom right. If someone wants to invest $50 in their Japanese learning, what is the best thing they could spend it on? Or $100 or $200? Japanese Quest. I have not. I did buy it. I was going to play it. But then Game Grammar played it first. Which is good, because someone's playing it. But now I feel like I don't have to play it. So, yeah, check out Game Grammar. They're playing it right now on Sundays, I think. So, Game Grammar. Someone do the Game Grammar command. Exclamation point Game Grammar. Check them out. They are playing that game. Yeah, Higurashi. I've been playing Higurashi recently in Japanese. I've played actually a lot of it for a few weeks, which may be one reason I haven't streamed so much recently, because I was playing a lot of that game, reading a lot of Japanese in that game. Game Grammar, thank you for the comment there. And Game Grammar, don't forget to command yourself. People gotta find Game Grammar too. Don't just promote other products, you gotta self-promote too. Oh, thank you, Obnoxious. It's better, I guess, if other people promote you. Okay, so I think we got some nominations in. Remind me if I'm missing some nominations in chat, because I feel like I might be missing some. The big ones I saw were tutor and textbooks. Okay, let's do it. Let's go back to Twitter and let's get the next vote up there. Ooh, Twitter is gaining hype, so let's make this question here for a new tweet and a new poll. What the heck, let's leave those this time. No, let's not for a poll, it doesn't feel right. Let's add the nominations are in as well, because they are in, at least mostly. In chat, remind me of the nominations again. The best thing to invest in Japanese. Because I'm mainly remembering 2 of them and a few of the joke answers. Okay, so the first one, private tutor. The second one, maybe we don't need all of them this time, I don't know. The second one, Genki and or RTK books. Okay, any other suggestions for where to put that money? I do like the one, use free resources. Spend on buy games. Got to find the right way to frame this in the character limit. Buy games. We don't quite have enough characters. That works, I think. And let's do one more. Manga with Hiragana. By manga. That could be the last option, since that was the last thing someone said. Okay, let's do that. Let's see that tweet, make sure it's looking right. Private tutor, Genki, and RTK books, free versus buy games, buy manga. So those are the options. You can retweet that if you want. Vote here. And let's just review where we are with the other votes from the beginning. Look at all these different polls we have. So the first poll, still, Wanikani is still ahead. Wow, almost 40 votes and it's got almost 50%. Impressive. Evil Ashi has summoned a dragon! Yatta! Watashi mo ureshii. I'm happy to see you too, Evil Ashi. Good to see you. I always like seeing the evil of your Ashi. Whatever that means. So the best reading resources, video games still winning. But everything has votes now, which is good to see. So the next option, 20 votes in. Anki is dominating for vocab as expected. Although the joke, cutting grass, and Breath of the Wild, you can find words in the grass. Also has some votes. For grammar resources, interesting. So Take Him is tied with Japanese ammo is tied with Boon Pro, and Game Grammar has a vote too. That's a tight race, which I thought it might be. And let's look at the next one on there. Duolingo, Lingo Deer, reading all the time. Reading all the time is big for that one, which is good to see. Okay, so for the next one, we'll see who votes on that. If someone wants to invest $50, what are your votes? Private Tutor, Genki, or RTK. Buy games, buy manga. Those are the options. Thanks again for all the bells here. Ooh, we got some more retweets and likes. Good to see. And let's go to our next question here. We only have a few more in our effort to combine Twitch and Twitter here. So where are we? Question 6. Ooh, I like this one. We just talked about manga. This is a good segue. What is the best starter manga for Japanese learners? I just saw this question today on Reddit, so it kind of came to mind because of that. So let's do that question here. Let's retweet the original one so people can see we're live. So retweet that with a comment. Question here. All right, let's tweet that out. Or retweet that out. Let's make sure the question's there at the top. Wow, we got a lot of that Venn diagram now on our Twitter. So what is the best starter manga for Japanese learners? I've heard this question many times. Recently saw it on Reddit.
What does the scouter say about his power level?
If someone wants to check on Reddit for some possible good answers, you can. I remember some of the top ones on that one. They were good answers. Okay, yeah, Yotsuba will certainly be one of the top ones. So 2, that's definitely in the nominations. Doraemon, Evil-Ashi, good suggestion for a starter manga, Doraemon. So any other starter manga? So one I'll suggest that was the top one on Reddit was Polar Bear Cafe. I think that should be one of the nominations too. It's a very good one. And if it won Reddit, I want to see if it can win Twitter possibly too. Ah, that one I don't know, Monopoly. Yeah, we won't probably be able to do all of them this time. Yeah, we're looking for ones that's kind of a good for a first manga to read. That's maybe a bit easier to read. Probably has Hiragana. And a good starter manga. A good first manga maybe to try if you're just learning. But yeah, anything. You could suggest anything. Yeah, Polar Bear Cafe is a good one. It's about a polar bear who runs a cafe with a bunch of other animals. Come to the cafe. Humans as well. Yeah, I have the first one in Japanese, actually. Let's see if I can find that manga I have here. Let's take a look at the cat cam here for a moment. You can see Aki there sleeping. He's almost like a polar bear right there. Aki's really big now, by the way. Ah, genki desu yo. Good to see you. So this is Polar Bear Cafe. That's a polar bear cat. Kawaii ne. And check out Polar Bear Cafe. It's a great manga. As you can see, it's got some nice drawings. A panda's a main character. It has Hiragana, as you can see. Even for easy kanji, like ima there for now. It's kind of blurry, but you can see it. So yeah, check out Polar Bear Cafe. It's also got a manga, an anime. It's on Crunchyroll. You can watch all of it on Crunchyroll. It's very good. I know Unboxed saw all of it because we mentioned it earlier on stream months ago. So other suggestions. What's the best starter manga that people might find? Ooh, Haru you can see back there too. Didn't realize they're both there. Kawaii ne. Aki-kun. There's Aki, there's Haru. They're sleeping today. They're 6 months old now. They're getting big. Ooh, there's Haru. Kawaii. Good to say hello to them today. I didn't know if we were going to do that because we are focused on all this other weird stuff, combining Twitch and Twitter today. So let's go back to the game. Maybe I'll leave it on the camera for them for now. Okay, so any other suggestions for starter manga? Ah, learning Japanese through manga I've seen on Amazon. Cool, that's a good suggestion. With the original Dragon Ball, I'm not sure. Good question, how hard that is. Has anyone read the original Dragon Ball? Someone on Reddit asked about how hard is One Piece in Japanese. That's actually kind of challenging. Even though there are furigana. There's some kind of weird grammar in One Piece. Like pirate-type language. Okay, I feel like some good suggestions were in. You might have to remind me how to spell everything. How do you spell Yotsubato and the other things people have been saying? I'm not totally sure on all that because I haven't read all of these. Let's go back to Twitter and chat. If you could tell me how to spell all those, that would be cool. Because let's do them in Romaji for the quiz. Yotsubato. Okay, thank you. So let's go back to the browser can. I will maybe put some of those in English for like Polar Bear Cafe, I think is how most people know that. Let's do a new tweet. And the same question, but here we have the nominations in, so let's write that there. The best starter manga for Japanese. Some great suggestions. Let's vote. So let's start with, everyone here said Yotsubato. I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do I need an exclamation point on there, by the way? Tell me if I do. Polar Bear Cafe. Someone mentioned Doraemon, which I think is a good suggestion. And the last suggestion, I don't remember the other ones that were made. You do make one? Okay, let's make an exclamation point. There we go. One more suggestion. What should I put for another starter manga? I did see Dragon Ball. I'll just put DBZ, because someone did mention that. Okay, let's do it. So we have a new question. The best starter manga for Japanese learners. You can vote there. You can retweet it there. Excellent, we got some retweets. Shirakuma Cafe. Oh, so they do like that one. These ones came out here. Not surprised. They were nominated, luckily. So that's good. So the nominations are in. What will win? I'm actually curious about this one. Let's see the next one, the last one. Ooh, check it out. Private Tutor is up there, but Genki and RTK Books are currently ahead for investing $50. Interesting. So probably buying games and buying manga are split somewhat, which I kind of wanted anyway. But if you add those together, it's still behind Genki and or RTK Books. Interesting. Cool. And these votes will go on for 24 hours even after the stream ends. Okay, so just a few more questions. Polar Bear Cafe jumps right ahead. Doraemon on the board too, with 4 votes in. This one is a race to watch. Let's go to the next question. Along the same lines, what is the best starter video game for Japanese learners? Very relevant to this channel. So we had this best starter manga. Now let's see the best starter video game. And let's retweet the original again, just because we are in Twitcher, the land in between. Let's retweet that. All right, let's tweet it out. And in chat, let's make our comments. What's the best starter video game for Japanese? This is a good question that I bet a lot of people in chat will have opinions. People on Twitter can comment as well. So we are still live. Anyone on Twitter, come here. I know you can't hear me, but I'm talking to you in your mind. Let's go back to the game.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
Power level is 2020 and rising slowly. So the question now, what is the best starter video game for Japanese learners? Okay. Yeah, the final result I'll post somewhere. I can post them on Discord, sure. And on probably Twitter as well. So Yokai Watch, good suggestion. Pokemon, it's a very common and good suggestion that will certainly be there. Monster Hunter, ooh, interesting suggestion. A bit trickier probably. So a good first starter game for a Japanese game. The first one we played on Japanese Quest was Xenoblade 2, but honestly, not a good starter game. Kind of challenging. No Furigana. For a starter game, Furigana probably is a helpful thing to have. Pokemon, the recent ones, I don't think they have Furigana, do they? But they do have a Hiragana option, which some people might like. Ace Attorney, possibly, probably a little challenging, though, to be honest. A lot of reading. Ooh, Celeste. Ah, interesting. I should mention that the translation of that is known to have some errors in it, but we did play it through too in Japanese, and I didn't notice too many errors. So Pokemon definitely on the board. Ace Attorney, yeah, probably too challenging. What about Animal Farm? Yeah. Evil-Ashi seconds it. So let's put Animal Farm, let's put Pokemon as two of them for sure. Because I've heard those as the two main suggestions, actually, for this question. But other starter games that I don't know about, maybe? What do you think? Yeah, Animal Crossing, isn't that Dobutsu no Mori? Okay, yeah, we'll put Animal Crossing then, and Pokemon. So those are two for sure. So another good starter game. I did see Yokai Watch. I think that's a pretty good one. That has Furigana in it. Yeah, don't put Animal Farm. Yeah, I won't. And the new Animal Crossing comes out soon, doesn't it? I mean, we're playing Breath of the Wild. We could put that. We do have quite a bit of Furigana here. Not on everything, but the basic story and stuff, you have it. But yeah, Yokai Watch is quite good, and I've seen reviews of it for why it's good. So I agree, we'll put that as one of them. The people who are knowledgeable and have played it in Japanese may vote for it. So we have so far Pokemon locked in, Animal Farm, just kidding, Animal Crossing locked in, and Yokai Watch locked in. What's the final nomination for the best starter game for Japanese learners? Let's get our nominations in there. Huh, let me just think. What are all the games we've played? So these are both visual novels, as you can see. Mostly I play visual novels now when I'm gaming by myself. This is a good one, though. Dragon Quest XI, quite good. It's got Furigana. Mario Odyssey also has Furigana. Not a bad suggestion. Ace Attorney. Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy games could be good. Yeah, why don't we put Dragon Quest? Maybe just the series, because if you're putting Pokemon, that's a lot of different games. Okay, let's lock it in. Let's do our votes. Let's go back to Twitter, and let's get our question there. The best starter game. The nominations are in. We only have 2 more, by the way. But if someone in chat has a question they really want to ask, we can possibly add another one. I'm not sure how much time we'll have. And let's get our options there for this poll. First, we have Pokemon games. I guess we could just put Pokemon. Animal Crossing. Yokai Watch. Dragon Quest. I think people can assume that this means this series for some of them. Okay, let's tweet it out. I think we don't need these hashtags. Let's tweet it. Any mistakes there? Let's look at the comments. Cool. Looks good. So the votes. Vote now. The best starter Japanese video game for Japanese learners. Pokemon, Animal Crossing, Yokai Watch, or Dragon Quest. My vote would be possibly Pokemon. Game Grammar also, their first ever video was on the first Pokemon, I think. Watch their video. It's a good one that helps to make that even a better option. Plus, someone just made a really good Anki deck of the first Pokemon. So we may actually make a video to that Anki deck someday, because it's so good, it's almost like playing through the game in the Anki deck. Animal Crossing, though, comes out with the first vote there, which is cool to see, because that's also a very good one that I've seen recommended many times. And let's look at the last vote. Ooh, very close between Yotsubato and Polar Bear Cafe. Interesting to see. And Genki still ahead here. Private Tutor gaining a little bit, maybe. Animal Crossing ahead. We'll have to see how this one goes. But let's go to our next question here. Almost done here. Couple questions left. Okay, this time the best starter Japanese book for Japanese learners. This is a tough one. More advanced, obviously. But this one has come up a lot as well. Many people want to read Japanese books. What's the good Japanese book to start reading? Wow, Animal Crossing is powerful here. Sugoi. So the next question here. I don't think we need to retweet that thing every time. Let's do this. The best starter Japanese book for Japanese learners. We can just at the bottom maybe say join live, and that's like to join live and make noms in chat, and then on Twitch. Okay, let's just put that, tweet that there. We like that tweet. So what's the best starter Japanese book for Japanese learners? We got some bells wrong. Ooh, best starter for a game. Animal Crossing, DS, Zelda. Ooh, that's a good one too. And game you loved in English but played already. Very good suggestion there too. This person knows a lot. Who are they? Let's follow them. That suggestion's too good not to follow them. High amount of voice acting, teen dating sim. Good suggestions all. Other people follow them. This person knows their stuff. Those are very good suggestions there. Okay. So let's go back to the game, because we have a new question in. The best starter Japanese book for Japanese learners.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
Power level is 2020, just like the year, and rising. Okay, what is the best starter Japanese book for Japanese learners? So this might be hard for everyone to answer if you haven't read books in Japanese. So just talking about books to read. Books to read, actual books. For your first book to read in Japanese, what's a good suggestion? For example, Harry Potter in Japanese, some people suggest. My suggestion might be Kino no Tabi, Kino's Journey. Also great books. Let me show you one, actually. Let's get on the camera again, if I can find Kino over here. Let's go to the cat cam. Aki's still sleeping here. So here's Kino's Journey. Kino no Tabi. Tabi is a journey. And this is book 19, I believe. There's 21, I think, total now. It's quite easy reading. I mean, relatively. If you're around N3 or N2 level, you could probably give it a try. It doesn't have Hiragana for everything, but it's often recommended as a good first book partly because it's all short stories. So each short story is only like maybe 10 pages, 20 pages, so you can feel like you're making progress in it. Also, I just got another book I gotta show you. Ooh, this one is also involving a Tabi no Nakama, The Lord of the Rings. This, though, not a good first book. Much more challenging. Do not read this for your first book. I haven't even read it. I read the first pages and said, I'll read it later. That was some time ago. but much more challenging. So any other good suggestions for a first book to read in Japanese? Not even a penny. This stream has been eye-opening for me. Good! We're trying to find the best resources that currently exist in all these different categories. We're hoping it can help people somewhere along the way to find new things, new media, new paths. Another book I just recently got. 1 second. Check it out. Harry Potter to Kenja no Ishi. So Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, also often recommended in Japanese, with a caveat. It's not the best translation, some people say. However, if you know the story really well and have read it in English, because of that familiarity, it can be a good first, or one of your first books, potentially. And yeah, Lord of the Rings is difficult, isn't it? In English as well. So any other first book suggestions? And there we see Aki again here. Kawaii. Ne. Well, we can see the poll too. I like that. Animal Crossing still ahead. Armander says, what would you recommend to a new student learning Japanese? Ooh, that's actually our last Japanese question. So if you can hang around a bit later, that'll be our last question today. Yeah, the next one actually, that is the question. So we'll see what people say. We're almost there. A completely new student, that I thought would be a good last question, so we're doing that one next. So good question. So any other suggestions? So locked in, I'll lock in my 2 options. Harry Potter in Japanese, Kino's Journey. Any other suggestions for a first book? The Little Prince I often hear, that could be one. Any other suggestions? I'm not sure if I saw one. Alright, let's go then. Back to the game. Did I miss any other books? If there are any other nominations, please mention the nomination. Yeah, Little Prince in Japanese. Yeah, it's quite a good one. I read it in Japanese, enjoyed it. I read Harry Potter in Japanese too, all of them. Enjoyed those too. Okay, so let's lock in some options. And let's see, maybe someone made a nomination online. It's possible. Let's look at the bells here. Okay, so let's make a new post. Ooh, we're getting close to 1,000 followers. Ine. Animal Crossing is still killing it for the best starter video game. Ooh, what do we have here? I'm looking for short stories with audio Romaji Hiragana, so I can follow along in the latter whilst listening to the former. Japanese Pod 101 has some. Love to find more. Any ideas? Good suggestion. Short stories with audio Romaji Hiragana. Yeah, you know what? I'm not totally sure on that. Maybe other people can suggest something. Ooh, another follower. Follow. Arigato. Okay, so let's make another tweet here, and let's see what the Twitter sphere thinks they can maybe make more suggestions for a good starter book in Japanese. I can say also feel free to make more suggestions below. Okay. So the nominations are in. The best starter book. Anyone else in chat, tell me if I missed any for nominations. Because I feel like there could be more that I'm thinking of. Changing your phone to Japanese could be good for beginners. I mean, try it and see. So let's make a poll here. So first option, Kino's Journey. One often recommended and that I also recommend, and I've read all of them. Honestly, my favorite books that I have read. Harry Potter in Japanese, also a popular option. The Little Prince in Japanese. I know I should probably write that in French, but I don't know French so well. One more option. What's another really good one? I know there's some other good options. Ooh, maybe just put Grated Readers. People really like those, just as a general thing. That may win, because it's a good suggestion. Grated Readers can be very helpful because then you read things that with words that you probably know. If you read extensively, then you can read lots of those and eventually level up to a book like Kino's Journey. Grated Readers can be for people that maybe only know 300, 500, 1,000 words so far. It can be very helpful. Okay, so let's make that tweet. Thank you, Evil for putting the French there. Okay, so the last comment here then. The best starter Japanese book for Japanese learners. Nominations are in. Make your vote here. Kino's Journey, Harry Potter in Japanese, Little Prince in Japanese, or Grated Readers. Make your vote there. And let's look at the last race. Animal Crossing still killing it there. After 18 votes, wow. But everything has some votes. Pokemon number 2. Interesting. I thought Animal Crossing would do well, but I didn't think they'd just crush everything. I wonder why that is. Yotsuba has jumped ahead of Polar Bear Cafe for the starter manga. Genki is still ahead for dropping $50 on something. Reading All the Time is still ahead in this sub-quiz for grammar. Take Kim is now ahead in this overall grammar one. Japanese ammo, though, still hard to beat. Anki, pretty unbeatable for vocab. Video games winning for reading resources. But really all of those are good, and you can see that by the even votes. Wanikani still winning for kanji. Interesting. This app, you can see how popular it is, though. RTK2. Oh, Wanikani 50%. Wow, this one has a lot of votes. Sugoi. Okay, last question. The last question today. Last question. Okay, last question today. Maybe just last question. Don't think we need that. Last question. What is the best resource that currently exists for people who want to start learning Japanese for the first time immediately after reading this tweet or hearing this tweet? So if you see this tweet now, if you're reading it, maybe for the first time, never studied Japanese before, or if you have, what is your suggestion? The first thing, the best resource for someone starting in Japanese. And let's say make nominations live at Japanese Quest .tv, right? That's all it is, right? Japanese Quest .switch.tv .twitch .tv. Forgot how the internet works. There we go. So let's tweet that. Oh no, we need to use slashes? Whatever, that's good enough. Whatever, good enough. Like I said, I forgot how the internet works. Oh no, something's bad is happening in the game. That's okay. Let's go back to our page here. Last question, the best starting resource for Japanese.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
So again, the red moon rises. Link, be careful. Okay, so good question, and someone asked this in chat as well. So good question to end with today. So last question. What is the best resource that currently exists for people who want to start learning Japanese for the first time immediately after reading this tweet? So let's see. So I'm going to go up in chat a bit because I think I might have missed some. Let's see here. And it's hard to look at chat because each time someone chats, it scrolls. People shouting out Animal Crossing, the quantity of items is very helpful. Okay. So human Japanese is the first suggestion for starting out. So any other suggestions for starting in Japanese? Yeah, Unboxious, that's kind of my feeling too. Unboxious says, I would say that resource doesn't matter at all. They need to go learn hiragana and katakana immediately in whatever way catches their fancy. My feeling is kind of too, whatever thing starts you off, whatever thing catches your interest, whether it's us talking about it here right now. That could be a good starting point, then learn hiragana. But I'm curious of other people's suggestions. I kind of feel like what it boils down to is whatever starts you, as long as it starts your path, it might not matter that much what resource you start with. For example, some people knock Duolingo for not being a perfect resource, but a lot of people start now with Japanese. And if that's your start on the path, I mean, just in the sense that it starts you on the path, could be a good thing. And find a way to keep engaged. Consistency is key. Yeah, we often say on Japanese Quest, really what it boils down to is step 1, start studying. Step 2, do it every day. Generic says started on Duolingo, but then started other resources. Yeah, often you'll start with one thing and then find overall things, over time, things that work better for you. All the monsters are back now, I guess, for this final question. So many people have mentioned Duolingo, so possibly that could be a nomination this time, since many people are mentioning it. So we could say, yeah, human Japanese, some person mentioned, then switch to Anki, okay. We could say, like, Unboxious doesn't matter, just learn hiragana. So yeah, Duolingo, it seems, can help to start people in many different languages. Let's eat some grasshoppers or something. Taberu, to eat. Taberu. Oishii desu ne. Okay, so let's round up our some of our suggestions. Honestly, if someone's serious about learning Japanese, what I might look at is people who are now proficient in the language. What did their path look like? And then don't copy their path, but take the parts that look good to you, and then do that. So, for example, there's a lot of threads like that on Reddit. Even in our own Japanese Quest Discord, in the resource section, there's kind of other people's story, how they got to, like, an N1 level or a Japanese translating kind of level. Japanese Pod 101 has some good videos to start. That's actually a good suggestion, too. Yeah, I mean, learning Japanese, by now, it's a pretty well-worn path. Thousands of people have done it. over time, the way people do it has gotten somewhat more efficient. Not probably hugely more efficient, but definitely over time, there's kind of been like a natural selection of study methods. Some of the best ones have risen to the top. So if you look around and see what people have used, try some of those out, and then use the ones that strike you as useful. But the best thing is just to get started. And at times, yeah, taking a class can be a good way to start. Yeah, actually, like, mentioning a class actually is a good... Maybe I could put that in the votes, too. Yeah, there's so many resources, it's a bit overwhelming, and that's certainly true. If you look at our recommended resources on our Discord, too, and just on the bottom of this channel as well, there's some good suggestions there. Also, if you are on the Japanese subreddit, Learn Japanese on Reddit, that subreddit, they have a pretty good starter guide. Also, if you just learn, like, Japanese starter guide, and if you Google that, Tofu has a pretty thorough starter guide. So I Googled this question earlier today. And we mentioned before as well, some people here before mentioned MIA, the mass immersion approach. I wouldn't necessarily, if I was starting, do everything they suggest on their website, but they have a lot of good suggestions overall for language learning. For example, exposing yourself to language as much as possible. Some effective ways to use remember the kanji if you want to. Effective ways to use Anki, things like that. These guys are trying to stop us from suggesting Japanese. Yeah, that's another thing. The Japanese learning community, at times, can be very kind of... their way is the best way. And for them, it may be true, and there might even be some validity to it being one of the best ways to learn. But still, telling someone the way they're learning sucks is not the way to go about it. Because even just starting with any resource can be a good way to get started on the path. It's a long path. The main thing is you move forward. The main thing is you choose something and move forward with it, and then choose something else. And then over time, you'll get a sense of what works and what doesn't work. Choose the things that work. Keep doing it. Rinse, repeat. Do it every day. Do it every year. After a couple of years, whatever you do every day, you'll be able to start doing more and more fluently. That's really what it boils down to. Just like any skill, like a sport, riding a bike, an instrument, if you do it every day, eventually it just becomes natural. It becomes wired into your brain. Yeah, immersion in general is certainly good, but yeah, it seems like it's up to personal preference how much they like to look up grammar. But I do feel that a lot of grammar can be kind of picked up through exposure rather than learned, but sometimes adding both seem to help as well, and I believe there's research supporting explicit grammar teaching as well as learning grammar through immersion. Yeah, Take Him is certainly a good place to start for grammar. We talked about that one earlier. Okay, we have some good suggestions. And yeah, actually, Take Him as a good starter guide. So that could possibly be a good suggestion too. Eric, konnichiwa. So everyone, remind me of your nominations. Let's do this last question. The nominations are in. Let's go to our browser cam and see where we are. We got some bells here. What are the bells? Good. We have some retweets. Retweet. Arigato. And my first, and one I hear a lot, is people recommend Yokai Watch. Cool. And yeah, we did mention that. Take Him for a good, probably for starter resource. Yeah, it is. Good. So that's definitely going to be one of our nominations then. So let's lock that in then for our tweet. So the nominations are in. Let's copy and paste that. The nominations are in. And remind me of the nominations, because there were actually a lot of them this time. The best starter resource. Take him. We also heard... Remind me, what other... Yeah. Japanese classes is a good suggestion to get started taking a class in your community if you have one, or online classes could be a great suggestion. Be online, or don't have room. Let's just say Japanese classes. Okay, answer 3. What else do we have? So someone said human Japanese. Let's put that, because I did see a few people mention that in the past. And let's put Duolingo, because that's just popular for a lot of people. Yeah, Japanese Pod 101 is a good one too, but let's maybe do Duolingo for now. Can anyone... That's the right spelling, right? So take him in Japanese classes, human Japanese, Duolingo. What is the best resource that currently exists for people who want to start learning Japanese for the first time immediately after reading this tweet? Some good ideas: Japanese classes, take him, human Japanese, Duolingo. Yeah, the thing that's easy about Duolingo, someone could read this and then immediately just go on Duolingo. I think the ease of entrance is what makes Duolingo so nice. People say it's not so great because, at least when it started, there were some mistakes and some strange grammar and sentences, but I've heard it's improved somewhat over time. So let's tweet this, see how the votes go for our last question today. So what's the best resource for starting to learn Japanese from zero? I thought someone could mention Japanese from zero, actually. Let's maybe do some other suggestions for this one. More options to vote on, because this is a big question that could help other people. Japanese from zero. Why don't we say Genki? A textbook that's quite popular you could start with. Let's say Japanese Pod 101. And doesn't matter, just learn Hiragana. Doesn't matter, learn Hiragana. Just learn. Just learn Hiragana. Now, because that's really the first step for learning Japanese. If you're serious, learn Hiragana. If you do, you can start reading Japanese. You can know how Japanese sounds because it's literally all of the syllables you need. I don't know if we need the now. Let's just do just here. Learn Hiragana. Yeah, maybe just learn Hiragana. Okay, I think that works. So the question again is the best thing to start with learning Japanese right now. Good first step, learn hiragana. These are other good options. Japanese from Zero, popular textbook. Genki, popular textbook as well. Japanese Pod 101 has some great videos. So does Japanese from Zero, actually. So all good suggestions here. Let's tweet that. Ooh, it looks like Take Him is winning. Japanese classes on there too. Duolingo has some votes. Interesting. So last question. Hello, bro. Hello to you as well. So let's review all of our votes. Let's go back to the game in a minute. Let's let those votes marinate for a while.
What does the scouter say about his power level?
She has a playlist for beginners. Who does? Oh, Japanese Ammo? Yeah, that's a good one too. She has some good beginner stuff as well. True. Yeah, another great channel that hasn't been mentioned is Nihongo no Mori, which means like Japanese forest. Great videos they have. Especially for the higher levels of JLPT like N1, N2, N3. Do they have N5 too? If they do, that's a great beginner resource too. So yeah, Japanese Ammo is a good one. I should have probably mentioned that actually. But we did shout out Japanese Ammo earlier for grammar with our grammar question. So good votes, everyone. Ooh, let's scroll down so we still have it on that final question. We can maybe see. Ooh, look at those votes. Learn Hiragana is currently winning. Oh no, now I wish I did add just Learn Hiragana. Wording is... Speaking is hard. Wording is hard too. Learn Hiragana is popular. So yeah, again, the question was the best resource that currently exists for people learning Japanese. Take Him is in the lead with 41%. Actually, now it's tied with Japanese classes, also 41%. Yeah, Champion has been a bit odd with videos. Really? Why would they make them private, I wonder? Huh. It's interesting. So today my goal was to try to combine Twitter and Twitch into something called Twitcher. I feel like it worked fairly well. This is kind of a test case to see if it worked at all. And I'd say it did work somewhat. The voting on things was kind of fun. And it's kind of fun to expand the sphere of Twitch a little bit into the Twitter universe. So that was kind of fun. It was kind of fun to be live doing both. What do people think of this concept of combining Twitch and Twitter? Not something we do a lot, but possibly something to think about from time to time. Probably not in this way, but in different ways. I have another secret plan I want to try someday, but it was a little ambitious, so this is kind of a test to see if this worked at all. Yeah, possibly their old videos were not up to their standards. Could be, but their old videos, too, were generally quite good, I would think. Even if they were more low-tech. Whoa! He can really chuck that rock. So we'll check on those final votes soon. You can put your final votes in now if you're on Twitter. It's been an interesting experiment. And we got to all those questions. I think the last question was interesting. There's a lot of different options. If anything, for new learners, Japanese has so many resources, it's almost overwhelming. But it's a good thing. We have almost more ways to learn than any other language for Japanese. More media to consume as well. So at the end of the day, just pick one. And just go with it. Pick another, then go with it. The important thing is get started, and then just do it every day. It's really just about routine when it comes to learning a language. Day by day, you'll learn new words. Day by day, you'll get more used to putting them together as you read them. Day by day, you level up, just like our power level you can see here. Power level 220. On Japanese Quest, our power level goes up as you learn new words. Top podcasts? I actually have a tweet about that I have done in the past. But no, we didn't have that question today. Yeah, there's so many resources for Japanese. It's probably a bit overwhelming. A bit too much in some ways. But really, just choose some that seem most natural, that seem the most fun. And then just keep pushing on and keep following your intuition. So forging your path and then following your path where it seems you're learning the most. That's really what it boils down to. And then again, doing it every day. I don't want to waste my arrows on these. Well, I'm going to shoot at some balloons. Doesn't seem like a good use of arrows. Oh no. Forgetting how to play this game. So let's look at the votes. So we have some more bells here. What are the bells? I think class is good to refine pronunciation, ask questions. Certainly true. Once you get that out of the way, Take Him's Guide, pretty effective. Cool. Personally like Misa Ammo as well. Picture books. Ooh, what is that one for? Ah, starter book. That's a good suggestion. Tanuki Suit Mario has given us a good suggestion here. Okay, let's take a look at the recent vote. So the second round of voting was learn Hiragana for a starter thing to do with learning Japanese. The first here, neck and neck between Japanese classes and Take Him. Alright, Duolingo on there too. Human Japanese on there as well. So let's look at best starter book, Grated Readers. Good suggestion. People also like Kino's Journey. Good to see Harry Potter 2 with some votes. Little Prince 2. Animal Crossing still destroying everyone. Yotsubato has pulled ahead of Polar Bear Cafe for a starter manga. Genki has pulled ahead for the best thing to do with $50. Actually, it has been ahead. Private Tutor's getting closer, though. Reading All the Time is ahead for the second vote for grammar. The first vote, though, Take Him, as you can see, very strong. Japanese Ammo with Misa in second. Game Grammar with some votes, too. Anki, killing it for vocab. People do like that Netflix language app, though. A lot of people followed me after that one, so there could be some of those people liking that one. We have actual books behind video games for the best reading resources. We've got Wanikani #1 for kanji. Interesting. Wanikani has killed it. Surprised Wanikani was so dominant. Because I know RTK is popular too. Those added together are not close, but they are ahead of Kanji App, which is also quite high. Okay, all the votes are in. Maybe we should do a bonus one for bonus question. So what is the best podcast for Japanese learners that currently exists? Okay, I don't think we need our hashtags necessarily, but yeah, we probably do just to keep these things looking like part of the same set. So make noms live below. And then Japanese Quest. This is our channel again. Dot Twitch. Or no, slash Twitch, right? Is that right? No, it's the other way around, right? That's how the internet works. Twitch.com or .tv. Internet's so tricky. Twitch.tv / Japanese Quest. That should work, I think. So let's check it. Last question, bonus question. So what is the best podcast for Japanese learners that currently exists? Make noms live below. So here's a bonus question. And just to add to that, some suggestions. Let's do @Japanese Quest podcast. If you search these kinds of things, did I write that wrong? Japan, yeah, I wrote it wrong. Try again. Bear with me. This is why. So this is a thread I made of lots of the best podcasts for Japanese learners. So this is the first one. Looking for a Japanese podcast, I highly recommend this one. Hanashi no Hanashi. Very good one. So I'll just post this for some suggestions for people. So I think if I just copy and paste this, it can be some suggestions. So some great suggestions here. Tweet that. Okay. That looks right. That looks right. Excellent. So find a good, I super want to know, good podcast. Excellent. Let's find those good podcasts. Let's make nominations for the best podcasts for Japanese learners. So I'm kind of curious who will win the vote. Who will win this vote? Bonus question. What is the best Japanese podcast? Let's go back to the game.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
So Manga Sensei, is that a podcast? JLPT Stories, are those all podcasts? News in Slow Japanese, ooh, that's a good one. Lots of good suggestions. Hiki Biki, ooh, that's a good one I've heard of actually. What else? There's so many. So good suggestions. So please, if you can think of any of those and you're on Twitter, mention them on Twitter. Because if you bell me, then I'll know that they're for sure nominations. Because I'll forget them if they get covered up by something else. So the one I mentioned, the first one on that thread I linked, was Hanashi no Hanashi. That's a very good one. So that's one that comes to mind for me. Also, just NHK News in general can be good podcasts. Also, there's one... Where is that thread? Let's take a look at it again. Oh no, I'm gonna get attacked, aren't I? Let's stop getting attacked. So where are we? Let's look at this thread here again. So this also is one I hear mentioned a lot these days. Nihongo Konteppe. I hear a lot. The cool thing about it, this guy makes a podcast to teach Japanese. Native speaker, does one for beginners and for higher levels. So this can probably be a nomination. In fact, let's start making this tweet because I'll forget these otherwise. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I don't want to type this out again. Let's go to Twitter again. So we can copy and paste ourselves. All right. So bonus question. What is the best podcast that currently exists? So we'll say the nominations are in. even though they're not. But we'll say it and start making this because I'll forget the nominations otherwise. What is the best podcast for Japanese learners that currently exists? Let's be hashtag podcast this time. And Japanese, just because this is our last one. I don't like 2 hashtags. Let's just do the one. Okay, here we go. And so first, someone mentioned news and slow Japanese. I like the sound of that. But before that, I saw someone mention hikibiki. This one I've seen mentioned a lot, actually. It's quite popular. So I'm going to mention that. Also mention... yeah, that one's mentioned a lot. So, Greg, of all the ones you mentioned, which one would you like to nominate? Other than hikibiki. Noob, konnichiwa. Saikin genki desu yo. How are you doing lately? So let's look at what else we have. Let's look at this one. I really like this one, and this one was a top voted one in a different... There's also a thread with a lot of different popular ones that Akko made. So if you look here, you'll see many different podcasts listed too. So this thread in general can get you a lot. Yeah, let's do Nihongo kon teppe as one. I think that's what it's called. Let's maybe just space it out like that. Okay, let's look at other ones. This one I've heard recommended a lot, which is why I'm putting it here. So other suggestions for our last 2 nominations. News and slow Japanese, that sounds good. I've heard that one mentioned before, so I think it's a good suggestion. All right, and the last one, simply because I like it so much, I'm going to do the first one of this thread. And it's very popular with Japanese people too. It's about speaking well in Japanese, often for people who want to give like lectures or are in business in Japan, but it's good for learners as well. She has great pronunciation in the video and gives you different hints on how to speak well in Japanese. Not just things like pronunciation, but things like confidence too, things like mirroring and who to mirror, stuff like that. She's making a bunch of new ones, new content recently too. So I'll put that one. So some good suggestions here. Let's just see if we've missed any other nominations. Doesn't look like we have. Yeah, that Australia one's good too, huh? Let's leave it these 4 for now. But there's many others that we did link there before. So the best podcast for Japanese learners that currently exists. Let's make that question and see who votes for what. Those are the nominations. So let's make our votes. Do you like hikibiki? Do you like Nihongo kon teppe? Do you like news and slow Japanese? Or do you like Hanashi no Hanashi? That's my nomination because I like that one quite a bit. But these are all ones I've heard before that are very popular. And some great suggestions here if you look at the thread right here. There's probably 20 plus great podcasts mentioned in here. So let's give that a bit of time for people to vote here. Go on Twitter, go on Twitch, the Japanese Quest Twitch. You can find and vote right there. News and slow Japanese, nice. We see a vote there. So let's go back here to the game.
What does the scouter say about his power level?
So let's see. Runaway, finally catching a stream, hoping to complete my first Xenoblade Chronicles 2 playthrough. But after that, I plan to get started with your Xenoblade 2 Chronicles streams. Oh, nice. Good to see you. Konnichiwa. Right now we're talking about the best podcast, but we've gone in every category today. The best resources in Japanese. And the cool thing, people can vote on these for the next day. After this stream is over, the whole next day over the weekend, you can vote on these and see what are the winners for all these different categories. So let's see, the best podcast. Who's going to vote for those? Right now, News in slow Japanese is winning. The podcast is good, Greg says. Yeah, the mirroring part, it is quite good. You mean the Hanashi no Hanashi? It is a good one. The Australia one you mentioned too, I've seen is popular. Any other final questions? Just in general. We don't have to tweet these ones, but as we're waiting for the votes to come in. Any other questions about Japanese we can answer here on chat? We got at least 35 people here that can listen and give you their perspective. I'm a Japanese teacher. I can give you my perspective as well. I can think of it. I wanted to kind of do a funny question too. For example, I was thinking of funny questions like, would you rather, if you could press a button and you immediately are fluent in Japanese, or you could press a button and you now have the power of invisibility for 10 minutes a day, which button would you press? I don't know, I was thinking of weird questions like that. For that one, honestly, I'm kind of weird, but I'd probably pick neither. Because I feel like if you're gonna want total fluency in Japanese, you want to work for it. The journey is really the important thing, not just the end. And in invisibility, I don't need that power. I don't need to be tempted in that way with that kind of weird power. I don't need invisibility. Invisibility would probably just invite problems. You get hit by a car or something. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do with it either. Probably I should have taken that power, but I choose to walk away from powers that I don't need. Hypotheticals don't work well on me because I just deny pretty much. I reject all hypotheticals usually. Other people in chat, any other questions, or how would you answer that question? A good way to remember kanji radicals. People before mentioned remembering the kanji. That could be a good system to learn kanji radicals as well, because basically you use radicals and kanji themselves as building blocks to learn all the kanji that you need, all the common, they're called Joyo kanji. So that's one popular way, remembering the kanji, the books. There's a free website called Kanji Kohi too that goes along with it. Any other suggestions for a good way to learn kanji radicals? Someone else mentioned the Kodansha Kanji Learners course before as well. Similar to RTK, but some say better. Another option. Yeah, I've heard some good stories to remember the difference between those two. I forget exactly what those stories were. Teleportation or fluent Japanese? Oh, that's one power I do want. Teleportation, because then I can go to Japan. I want teleportation. It's way too hard to get to Japan if you don't live there. It's an island nation, after all. Yeah, that's one power I do want. Even if I risk teleporting into a wall or something, I'm taking it. Yeah, that's the power we all need. And I mean, too, like, just transportation kills people. Like recently in the news, I'm sure you saw Kobe Bryant and 8 other people, his daughter included, died in a helicopter accident. Why did they die? Just because our transportation network sucks. That's why. They didn't want to sit in traffic in LA, so they took a helicopter and they paid a terrible, terrible price for it. It's totally sad. And if we all just had teleportation, like safe teleportation, we could save so many lives. Because people died driving too. By the way, rest in peace to all of those people. And Kobe Bryant, who's very popular in Japan and Asia. He's of course named after Kobe beef. His dad was a professional basketball player. Had Kobe beef, loved it so much, the story goes, that he named his son Kobe. Kobe beef, of course, gets his name from Kobe, the area, the city in Japan. Very famous, very high quality beef. Yeah, teleportation would be really nice, especially for language learners. So you can just go and immerse in your country whenever you wanted. Like for the weekends, you just go to Japan. Go to China. Maybe not this week, though. Because we've got a lot of not so great news lately. Because the coronavirus as well was just declared a world health emergency. Okay, let's check on the votes one last time. Let's go to our browser cam and let's not die. This slime is going to probably try to kill us. Okay, we've got some bells. What are they? So, banger. I'm going to say that's good and just reply to that. What is that about? Ah, for Bushido Kumo Cafe, perhaps, or just the general idea. Cool. What else? Cool. Let's look at the votes. So the nominations are in for #1 podcast. Slow News in Japanese is the winner. But there's votes for everything. So what you can see from that, these are all possible good podcasts to watch, to listen to. Not watch. I think these are mostly just audio podcasts. Ooh, do we have a comment? Hikibiki. And that's the first one, right? Yep. That's the first one. And that was mentioned, so good suggestion there. So let's look at the other votes and see if they've changed at all. Slow News, though, is winning, but these are all good suggestions. Let's go down. So Learning Hiragana still the top for this sub vote, but Genki has raised up some as well. So for this first vote, Take Him is way ahead. Yeah, it's kind of nice to have these different votes, but kind of wish we could have them all together. Grated Readers is killing for a first book, so take that for what you will. It is true you have to be a higher level to access these books. Probably N3 or so, at least. I'll be honest, when I was N2 level, Harry Potter in Japanese was probably too challenging. At least with the one I had, didn't have that much Furigana at the time. Animal Crossing still killing for games. Yotsuba, way ahead for a best starter manga. Genki, still winning for the first thing if you want to spend $50 on Japanese. Wow, this is a lot of votes for this one. I'm glad people liked that one, because I haven't seen that question before, really. Reading all the time wins for the secondary grammar, but first grammar vote, Take Him, is pulling ahead. Anki, way ahead for vocab, especially when you consider the second most voted is a joke answer. Video games still ahead for reading, but actual books also up there. And the readers are getting some votes too. And then Wanikani winning for kanji, but Kanji app still up there. Wow, 50 votes for that one. Cool, so all of these, there's different votes as you can see, but all of these are really useful, possible ideas for people on their Japanese quest.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
So what's a good place to watch slow news in Japanese? Legendary 5 says. So that's a podcast, right? Do you want to start with the beginning of the podcast? Is that your question? It's a podcast, I believe. I don't know it myself, but I think Greg mentioned it. Greg, are you here? Did you, So that's the website, Slow News in... or News in Slow Japanese. Runaway says, I'm considering starting New Horizon in Japanese. So hoping that will be easy to change a language in. Huh, what is New Horizon? I'm not sure what that is in terms of what kind of media it is. You can find it on normal podcast apps. Okay. Yep, it's an app for Japanese news that's, I guess, slow news, and I have heard it's good for learners and popular. Okay. I think we have to defeat someone. And any final suggestions or questions, you can chat those now. What's your first or best thing to do once you're at a good level of Japanese? Honestly, probably just talking to Japanese people. It's the first thing that came to mind. For me, that's the first time it really was real for me. When I was in Japan, speaking to Japanese people. So if you can, go to Japan. But if you can't do that, at least talk to Japanese people either online or in person. And Unboxus has a good comment too. You'll know probably when you get there. It's really whatever you want to do. If you want to play games in Japanese, do that. If you want to read manga, do that. But I'd say one thing that sometimes doesn't get talked about enough is talking to Japanese people is a great thing to do, just to make it more real in a way. If you live your whole Japanese life just in fiction, like a game like this, you're missing a lot. So it's really good to spread to different media. I read fiction, non-fiction, some manga, some games. It's good to spread around. Some podcasts, some just talking to people, some poetry, haiku, some tweets. There's some really well-written tweets out there. Social media can be good for reading Japanese, so lots of options. Good suggestion from Greg. Yeah, on YouTube you can turn down the speed, so you could actually just watch news and turn down the speed. And one cool thing there, they have so much subtitles in Japanese for news. It can really help you break down the news. But I will say, in general, speaking Japanese to just normal people is normally way easier than listening to the news. The different register of Japanese in the news, much more challenging in general to listen to. Yeah, the first time you ever speak to someone in Japanese is a big moment for a lot of people, and it was for me. So Mage says, so happy to see a new Japanese Quest stream, super helpful. Cool, yeah, we'll definitely be streaming more. I'd like to continue with Japanese, with Dragon Quest, and with Japanese Quest. But also now we're starting our 3rd year of Japanese Quest, so I want to try some new things too, some new ideas. So that's why for this new year, we're looking at all these best resources in different categories that exist, hoping this can help other people. If you have a goal to learn, check out our Twitter. You can see the best resources voted on by people on Twitter and here. And pick some, use them, can help you on your Japanese journey. Then later you can come back here and we can continue this journey together. Because that's really the vision for this channel. It's a journey. A journey that we can share and go off on our own journey. We can kind of go off on our journey, come back, say hello. Just like if you're on a well-trafficked hike. Imagine hiking along the Great Wall of China, say. Or on the Great Appalachia Trail. You start to know those people on that trail. Because they're all there, they've been there a long time. They all have their own hiking name, just like we all have our own screen name. And you're not always on the same path, necessarily. But every once in a while your paths cross and you joke and you share resources and you share food. And you help people get better at the trail, find a better path. That's what we do here. We come together, we go on our own path, we come back together, we level up. We find better ways to level up. Alone, with other people. And really just to keep moving forward. That's what we do here. So good to see everyone today. I think we will end the stream here today. At the top of this mountain seems a good place to end this stream as any. The sun in the air. Taiyo. Kirei da ne. Taiyo is sun. So let's end the stream here. Ja! Matane. Normally we write matane at the end. Did not set up writing today simply because mostly we're focusing on tweets. I'll continue to monitor those tweets, and if you follow those tweets. You can find that there. Let's quick do a... Ja, matane. Let's quick link our Twitter. Let's see, exclamation point, Twitter. Let's see if I can do that command. Oh no, everyone's doing the wrong exclamation point. On my laptop, I don't have an exclamation point, so I copy and pasted your exclamation points, but they're all Japanese exclamation points. They don't work. Please, someone type a real exclamation point or an English exclamation point so I can copy and paste it and show the Twitter command, or someone else do the Twitter command. Sorry, I know this is a weird way to end the channel. Yay, another exclamation point. Thank you. That's the kind of exclamation point I need. Oh no, Greg tried but failed. We can do it. Twitter. There's the Twitter command. You can see our Twitter, find our Twitter, follow. Then you can vote on all these. You can see who won the vote for all of these. And next time, just a little bit more, we'll know in 2020 what are the best resources in all these different categories. And hopefully the rest of the internet will too. Spread these around, share them, retweet them, tell people that you know. Because I didn't know all this myself. I'm a Japanese teacher, but the reason we do this is so we can all find what other people use that you might not know about. Ja! Oyasumi! Ja! Matane! See you next time. Japanese Quest will continue.